Taking a minute. All right, we're good to go.
All right, well, welcome. It is August 21st, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. We do have quorum. We have Commissioner Manlin, Trish, Murray, and Commissioner Huma involved. So first thing in order is call to order.
Yeah, I just want to announce that we have two commissioners absent right now, Manny Brown and Lucrecia Chodo, who hopefully will join us shortly. But we do have quorum and we can move forward with our commission meeting tonight.
The next thing we do is public comments, number 2.
Yeah, so we actually do have somebody here in person. I want to invite Heidi Stauber from Kindering, who would like to speak to and address the commission. Heidi, you have 5 minutes. You could take the whole time or less. I'll just kind of give you a little bit of a cue when we come up to the 5 minutes.
Yeah, I have a prepared statement, so I wouldn't forget what I'm supposed to say. But my name is Heidi Stauber, and I work at Kindering, which is a not-for-profit neurodevelopmental center. And for over 60 years, Kindering has been serving children with disabilities and other needs. Thank you for this opportunity to speak in support of our pending funding requests for 3 of our programs. All of these programs are offered at no cost to participants, and all are currently having a positive impact on Issaquah residents and childcare providers. First, Childcare and Preschool Consultation, or CCPC, which is the team that I serve on. CCPC uses on-site classroom observation, consultation, coaching, and training to help childcare and preschool providers meet the needs of the children in their care. Children of color and children with disabilities are disproportionately at risk of being expelled from childcare and preschool. In 2023, Kindering's CCPC program served 229 children, the majority of whom identified as Black, Indigenous, and people of color. Nearly 60% of all children served were referred for a developmental evaluation to receive specialized support. As an important indicator of the program's success, 97% of the children served were retained in their original child care setting.
Yeah.
Second, families in transition, we call FIT, F-I-T. FIT supports the needs of young children experiencing homelessness and their families through pediatric therapies, early education, parent coaching, outreach, case management, and connection to resources. A staggering 75% of children experiencing homelessness have one or more major developmental delays. Last year, 89% of children involved in our FIT programming made measurable improvement in their development. And third and final of these programs is parent education and family support. This program offers evidence-based, culturally respectful guidance for caregivers of young children through group classes, customized programs, and one-to-one coaching for parents and caregivers. Surveys have shown that over 90% of parents reported significant improvements in their knowledge and parenting skills. In 2023, most participants, 65%, identified as people of color, and 68% of those who chose to disclose it were very low to moderate income. We kindly ask the Commission to consider recommending fundings to support these free of charge programs, which have been making a positive impact on the lives of children, families, and childcare providers in the city of Issaquah. And on behalf of Kindering, I just want to thank you again for the opportunity to come to your meeting and provide some public. Thank you.
Shani.
Thank you for letting me speak. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Heidi, so much for your time.
Oh, yeah. Have a good evening.
I also want to say hi to Lucrecia. You've joined us here online. Good to see you.
Are you able to hear me, Hannah?
Yes, we are. Thank you so much for testing that.
Yes, I apologize for arriving late. I'm using a new computer and it was not liking Teams.
No problem. Glad to have you, Lucrecia.
Thank you.
All right, the next thing we have is number 3. There is an agenda item with approval of minutes for July 17th. The minutes were included in the agenda packet. Are there any corrections that we'd like to address from the group? Hearing none, the minutes are approved.
We have a motion. Somebody motion to approve.
Does someone a motion?
I
to approve?
move to approve the minutes from last time's meeting.
That's it.
Then do we have a second?
Do we have a second from the group?
Lucretia, I see.
That's it.
I second.
All right, the next thing we have on our agenda is number 4, agenda items, 2025-2026 Human Services Grants, draft recommendations presented by Anna Roberts.
Wonderful. Thank you, commissioners. Just give me a moment to get this up. Oh, sorry. I know it's because it's right there. Perfect. All right, welcome commissioners. Hannah Roberts here, Human Services Coordinator. You all know me well. We've been working for the last few months on this draft recommendation. So I'm very excited to present this evening our recommendations and some updates that we have. But before I get into it, the nitty gritty of it, I have been just really thinking and just processing this entire time with you all and this process. And I just want to thank you. I know you've heard me every time. Thank you for your time. I do appreciate it, but it really is heartfelt. You are all volunteers. You have lives outside of this. You're making some very difficult, very big decisions that can really impact our community. So I want to commend you all on the time, the passion, the commitment to making such thoughtful decisions, and just to share my appreciation for working with you all. It's been a pleasure. So thank you, thank you. So just want to start off this evening with a true gratitude. So Maury, Jaime, Trish, Madeline, Huma, Lucretia, Manny, who's not here, thank you again.
Thank you, Hannah.
Okay, now we'll go into it. So tonight, we have a few items we want to go over. We want to review and discuss the updated draft recommendations, and then ultimately want to make a final decision and a formal decision. You've seen this one a few times, but just to recap, we've had 95 applications that were reviewed in total. We had 60 organizations with over $2 million in request. The amount that we have allocated is at $612,618. That's with using a formula that we used last cycle and we continue to use this cycle. It's the average of 2025 and 2026 amounts. And now what we are talking about is one-time opioid settlement funds that we would like to include in our human services grants. So I just want to use this opportunity to just have a high overview of what the opioid settlement funds are. So if you're not familiar with them, they are, it's from the US to assist with the opioid recovery efforts. Cities are allocated a certain amount that needs to be used towards mental health and substance use programming and services. So for the city of Issaquah, for our one-time funding for human services grants, we were allocated a total of $260,000. This does need to be spent specifically towards mental health and substance use. Fortunately, we have a lot of programs who applied in that, and it is a priority area for our funding for 2025 and 2026. So what that does in changing our numbers is we go from our current 612 and 618, we take the 260 and divide it by 2 per year. So we have a total of 130,000 per year to add to the baseline amount. So now we have an increase of one-time funding for 2025 and 2026, $742,618. So we are very, very grateful for city administration to approve this. As we all know, the need is very much there. So with the additional funds, we ultimately took the first step of looking at our behavioral health programs and allocated $130,000 to those. This was in our physical and behavioral health category, as well as our cultural specific category that did also have behavioral health programs that would qualify under this. We leveraged the remaining amount and we put it in our other priority areas, including our cultural specific and language access, our housing continuum, and our community resource program. So each category received additional funding that was leveraged with the additional one-time funding. So break it down a little bit. This is what it looks like per our subgroup areas. So for our physical and behavioral health, we were originally at 10 programs and we were at 123,000. We were then able to increase it to 12 programs recommended with 147,000 total in this category. For cultural specific and language access services, we went from, again, 10 programs to up to 12, so 2 more programs, and increased it from 172 to 202,000. In our housing continuum, this was a big jump from 10 programs to 13 programs, 165 to 230. You can see detailed in your agenda item the allocations went towards rental assistance increase as well as shelter programming. And then under our community resources, we kept it at 13 programs, but we increased the funding amount for some of the programs. Here's kind of the visual of it in all of them together. So we are looking at, therefore, funding 49 programs with 742,618. You can find the detailed items of what is being recommended. That was emailed to you as well as in our agenda packet. There is a column for the original recommendations. We all met in our subgroups to talk about what we wanted to do with the additional funds. And you can see in the additional funds column, you can see things were highlighted to help identify what were the changes. In many of the additions or the changes, things went from to 100% funded for the request, and then additional programs, as you can also see. So kind of just looking at our timing and what next steps. So we've spent a lot of time in June and in August diving into the review process. We're here tonight to make a formal recommendation and have a formal vote. And then end of August, beginning of September, we will plan on meeting with our mayor to present the recommendations. She will then in September go to our city council and present it to as part of the larger city budget. And then in November is when we're anticipated to then have the approval for the city council budget of 2025 and 2026, in which human services grants would be embedded in. So tonight, this is our time to really just have our final discussion. There's questions, comments, concerns, and ultimately the goal will make a formal action to approve the draft recommendations. So that concludes my portion. I'm going to stop sharing here. Commissioners, give you all the floor.
Hannah, when you say we have the floor, is this when we would make a motion to approve the programs and awards as presented, or was this also when there would be, if there were still any questions remaining, that we would raise those questions?
Yeah, motion and then discussion.
A motion. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So if somebody would like to motion to approve it, we'll have a discussion and then we can have somebody second it if there's no changes made.
And then if you want changes, you can make changes after. But yeah, motion, discussion, and then you can make amendments or you can approve it as.
I move. This is Trish.
This is Lucrecia, I second.
And then now discussion, you invite
Okay. So
discussion.
motion for discussion,
Yeah, the motion was to approve.
motion to approve. Now next steps is for discussion to the group as a whole.
Any questions? or any
Any thoughts, comments, questions around?
This is Maury Edwards. I found this year to be a little harder than last time. We, there's so much need and having the limited resources, even though it doesn't seem like limited resources, it really kind of is compared to what the need is. And particularly when we have this Heidi come in and talk to us with the great presentation that she did. And, it made me want to just go ahead and give her some money. And, but yet I have, we decided not to. And, there's only so much we can give out. And so this, I guess I just wanted to say that this was a harder year than last time for me.
Lucrecia?
I just wanted to say that I am very grateful for the opportunity to have the time between our last meeting and this meeting to actually go ahead and do the voting, because it gave me some time for any questions that I had to be answered, and then I felt more settled with the decisions that were made. And now I also feel like if someone were to ask me how and why or what was the process, that I'm able to more thoroughly answer that. And so I'm just grateful for the time in between the two sessions that we've had around this topic. And that's the only thing I wanted to share.
Thanks, Lucrecia. Thank you for advocating for the extra time. I think everybody found it helpful as well.
That you wanted to say something.
No, I was gonna say, I think it's been a journey of just learning from training. And again, this is Commissioner Hyman. From Hannah, you being intentional with our meetings from subgroups and kind of walking down from the scorecard to the strategic plan to the needs of our community. So it made sense to even take a pause a little bit. I think Commissioner Lucrecia spoke to it last month around being intentional with some of the additional funding and where we want to go to stretch those needs. So I was I'd say very grateful to take a pause and be intentional where we want to put in those dollars for the needs of Issaquah. So. Lucrecia, Commissioner Lucrecia, you have your hand up?
No, sorry, I think I forgot to unraise it or put it down, whatever the proper term is.
Okay, so if there's no more discussion, then we can proceed with a formal vote.
So do we motion to approve from the group?
I saw motion.
Do a second?
I'll second.
So you had already the motion, so you're now just like all in favor. You can ask for a yay, yes, and then
Is everyone in favor with our plan?
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
so then.
You don't get to vote?
I would vote yes. I don't know if I can vote yes, but I would vote yes.
Thank you, Preston.
Well, thank you to the group and for your hard work. It's not an easy task to make tough decisions when it comes to our Issaquah neighbors, and the need is, immensely. And with the limited funds we have to stretch those needs, huge praise to all you to take the time and being intentional around it.
Congratulations, commissioners. Now you formally made the recommendations to the mayor and city council.
Official.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Feels good.
So the next thing we have on our agenda here is reports, chair and commissioner reports. I don't have any reports that I have to report out. Anybody from our commissioner group that wants to speak to our human services? All right, then next thing we have is youth report. Preston, is there anything updates on your?
Okay, so currently the Youth Advisory Board is still on its summer break, and our first meeting is going to be starting in September. And so currently I don't have any events planned. How it works with the Youth Advisory Board is every year we look at the issues happening with the youth in Issaquah, and then we choose the events specific to what the board wants to do. So we currently are split into two groups, being Teen Action and Teen Advocacy. Teen Action works more on community engagement events. So unfortunately, we weren't able to do it last year, but our biggest event is the Issaquah Youth Triathlon, and that's what we hold. And then for teen advocacy, that's more similar to what we do here at the Human Services Commission. And we do events relating to state of mind, youth civic engagement, and other child support things, just depending on what the people want. So we'll see in September what events, and then I'll get back to you on what events we're planning to do. And then the only thing we're planning to do over the summer is that we're currently sending out emails to all the current and new commissioners regarding volunteering at the Issaquah Welcomes You event.
Great.
Okay, I think that's it for me.
Thank you, Preston. Is there any reports from staff?
Oh, yes. I do have a couple. I would like to share some very fun upcoming events and then just some scheduling logistics. I also want to take some time. So first off, I want to invite you all and make sure that you are aware of our Issaquah Culture Fest. This is a part of our welcoming week. This is our, you're going to have to help me, fourth, fifth. Oh, we're already in our 5th year.
Sixth, maybe.
No, wow. Well, we've done this for a while, and each year gets bigger and better. And it's a collaboration with our different community partners where we will be hosting it on Friday, September 6th at the Community Center lawn from 5:30 to 7:30. This event really is intended as to be a part of the Welcoming America, which is a nationwide welcome for immigrants and refugees, that is intended to make them feel welcomed here. And so Issaquah is a part of that celebration. That's Issaquah specific. It's really intended for new residents, old residents, to learn more about our community, learn more about resources that we have and ways to get involved. We have over 40 vendors in our resource fair. Very excited about that. We have wonderful live performances. We have a Chinese dragon dancing. We have a mariachi band, West African culture dance, and a few other items. We're very excited. The Cougar Zoo is bringing animals. I'm very excited for that one as well. We have some henna, free henna art, and then food trucks for purchase. So a lot of planning, a lot of excitement behind this one. Just please consider coming and joining us. Please invite family, your friends, your neighbors. It's going to be a good one. So please put that in calendars. You'll be seeing more emails and flyers and all that fun stuff coming your way from me. But just want to put that out there.
What was the date on that?
Yeah, it's coming up September 6th. It's a Friday.
Okay.
It starts at 5:30. I do recommend getting there right at 5:30. We will be having the dragon dance starting the event, so that should be a very fun one. And it goes until 7:30. So,
And where?
and it's here at our community center, right? Hopefully with the weather, it's good, but it's going to be in the lawn. So every year, I think we've been able to almost every year do it outdoors, which is ideal. So, and we'll have the stage still up, so we'll be doing it all there. Also, another welcoming week event. Oh, sorry, Lucrecia, didn't see your hand there.
No worries. Is there any way that we can contribute in some way, participate, volunteer, set up,
Excellent question.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for that offer. I just started a volunteer sign up list for helping us. There's different opportunities to help set up with decorations. You can help during the event, be a welcomer. You could help with cleanup at the end. So I can send that out for those who can sign up for volunteering. I do want to make you aware that part of the volunteer process does require a background check and then a signed agreement or a signed waiver. So I will put that in the email, but just keep that in mind. But yes, would love help, but mostly I would love also just for you to join us. Thank you, Lucrecia. I'll follow up with that opportunity. Perfect. Anything else? Any other questions on that one? Okay. Another one I want to invite us all to is the Eastside Welcoming Week event. This is a joint Eastside event on September 20th. It's held by Eastside for All, and the title is Leading Together in Communities, where we will have community partners speak on behalf of that. Lunch is provided, so it is a good opportunity to get a free lunch from 12 to 2. It is in Bellevue, though, but we are part of that planning as well. Another event that is not quite yet posted, but want to put on all of your radar is Hispanic Heritage Month. So Hispanic Heritage Month is starting September 15th through October 15th. And we are working with the Circle, who will be hosting a Hispanic family dance at the Pickering Barn for Hispanic Heritage celebration. More details to come on that, but that's going to be September 29th at 6 p.m. at the Pickering Barn. So that's almost finalized and will be posted out shortly. So would love participation and for you all to join us in that. Okay, so those are our fun events coming up this next month. It's going to be a very busy month. Very fun. Any other questions for our event piece? Okay. So then some logistic questions for you. So in the staff report, we are invited to be a part of a special board and commission meeting for the strategic plan. So this is the Issaquah. So we're familiar with strategic plans and human services, but this is for the overall Issaquah strategic plan. And they have had a task force working on editing the current version. And what they are now at the stage where they want to invite boards and commission to provide feedback. For you all as Human Services Commission, we would focus more so on the human services portion that would pertain to the work that we do, and would like to invite you all to provide review and input on that. So this would be a much larger meeting. It's going to be at the Pickering Barn on September 19th at 6:30 to 8:30. This is a Thursday. It's something that we have basically a few options here. So our regular meeting is on Wednesday, the 18th. What we can do and consider is canceling the regular meeting and all attend the special board and commission meeting and use that as our monthly commission meeting to provide our expertise there. Or if you would like, we can have just a handful of commissioners attend that to provide feedback based off of availability. So that we can discuss that that's an option. But before we do, I also want to put it on your radar that in October, we also have a special meeting. It's a joint meeting with our equity board. And we will be having a presentation on our transportation planning for the light rail that's supposed to be coming in the far future. And so they are looking for equity board members and commissioners feedback on that. And that's going to be our regular commission meeting. So October 16th. Just want to put that also on your radar as we start planning for the next couple of months. So a lot of information there. Any questions regarding those meetings?
Yeah, Hannah, can you tell
I'm sorry,
me what?
could you?
Sorry, this
Sorry.
is an echo. Huma, was that you?
I think it was.
Yeah. I wanted to know what date and time the meeting in September is going to be. That's not our regular meeting that you were suggesting.
Yeah, of course. It's Thursday, September 19th from 6:30 to 8:30, and it will be at the Pickering Barn.
Okay, thank you.
And the question for you commissioners is,
Hannah,
Yes.
sorry, is that meeting at Pickering Barn? So I assume that that's going to be in person only?
Yeah, I'm just reading the notes from the email we received. I do believe that is going to be an in-person meeting. Yeah.
Okay.
This is, yeah. And is it for all boards and commissions, or did you say just equity and human services?
Sorry for the confusion. Let me clarify. It's actually for all boards and commissions. So everyone is invited to partake in this special meeting to provide feedback on the Issaquah strategic plan and the current edits that have been made so far. And what I was saying is that for us, we wouldn't spend the whole time looking at the entire strategic plan edits. We would be focusing more on our on the human services, social service piece of it that pertains to a lot of the work that we have done.
So a very large meeting then. I mean, if all boards and commissions are going to be there, yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be a good amount of people, but there'll be breakout sections, if that makes sense.
Then my next question is, if we don't have a regular September meeting for just human services, is that going to put us back on anything? I mean, is there anything pressing that we need to take care of in September?
I appreciate the question, Trish. No, there's not anything currently pressing. We accomplished really one of our largest and main tasks that we spent a lot of time on. So this is a little bit of our time we can refocus and look at what next year is going to look like. And so by canceling a regular meeting and providing feedback for the strategic plan would be very fitting for where we're currently at. So the short answer is no, there's nothing pressing.
I think it would be very interesting I would encourage all of us to go to the strategic planning meeting, but that would just be my recommendation. But I mean, if we cancel, I suppose if it doesn't work for people, they don't have to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. We don't have to necessarily meet quorum for that kind of meeting. But that would be canceling our regular and then posting that this is a special meeting that we will have commissioners at.
Yeah, so I would be in favor of attending the strategic planning meeting for the city. Yeah.
Thanks, Trish.
Mm-hmm.
This is Lucrecia speaking. I have a
I agree with
clarification
Trish.
question, Monica and Hannah, and that is, will we receive substantive information prior to this meeting so that if we cannot attend for whatever reason, that we can maybe submit some written, perspective that can be presented? Is that an option?
absolutely, yes, certainly. The assistant to the city administrator, Dale Markey Cramp, is leading this effort, and there will be, just like for any other commission meetings, the packet will be published in advance, and they're always going to welcome written feedback if somebody cannot attend in person. And again, we don't have all the details from Dale. They might also have an online option. We don't know at this point, but at least at minimum written and then in-person attendance, they will absolutely welcome it. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for that clarification. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and the one thing that I'll add to for next steps for this meeting is that I will be sending out a 5-question RSVP survey. So that is part of the requirement if you are planning to attend. And that's going to be due by September 9th. So I'll follow up in an email on that. And then an agenda packet and the materials you'll have the week prior, like Monica was saying. So that's how you'll be able to prepare And then again, I'll be there at the meeting, and so I'll be help leading the efforts in some of the subgroups that we'll be having.
Would you need this is Commissioner Hammond, would you need a vote in terms of skipping on the 18th to attend the 19th from the group?
Just a general consensus if everyone's okay doing that, or if there's any other thoughts, more of a conversation, so nothing formal on my end. And I also want to say hi to Manny. So good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Sorry.
All good, Manny. Good to see you.
I have a question, Hannah. This is Maury Edwards. I'm wondering, is there anything substantive that we would be missing by skipping that meeting and going to the strategic planning meeting?
No, we don't have anything really specific on our agenda packet for September. It would be good use of the month's time. I think it's a great opportunity for commissioners, for you all to learn more about where Issaquah is headed and what the vision is for not just human services, but at large, and then really see how does human services fit into that. In addition, I think this is also a really great opportunity for you to impact our strategic plan and provide a unique perspective as human services commissioners who understand our world, a little bit better or a little bit different than somebody from different boards. And I think that perspective is very valued and wanted in this arena. So,
well, I'm all for going to the strategic planning meeting then on the 19th and skipping the 18th.
Okay, great.
So what I'm hearing is a motion to move our meeting to join the strategic plan September 19th, 6 p.m. to 8:30 in lieu of our September 18th. Is there a second to that?
I second. That was Lucrecia speaking.
Thank you, Lucrecia. Okay, well then I will provide that posting online, so it's public information that our regular meeting is canceled, and then we will have a special meeting to join the strategic planning on September 19th. Perfect.
I want to say too to the commissioners, is there any other thoughts around our October 16th, in conjunction with the equity board and having the light rail presentation? Is there a way we can get information beforehand?
Great question. I'll talk to the presenter on that to be able to provide that information. But are you talking about the specific content?
Correct.
Yes. Yeah, he probably already has that. So we will post it the week prior. But I know that's usually just a weekend for everyone until the meeting. So I can see if I can get information prior to that. Yeah. And also, just so you know, for that one, more details to come, but that will be at our senior center. Again, our regular meeting time, but it will be considered a special meeting since it's a joint one with our equity board, and an opportunity to have a presentation on transportation.
I remember last year attending this, and it was very beneficial in terms of the light rail progress, the feedback from the community. Does it reflect that? And then hearing from different folks around maybe gaps when it comes to the light rail infrastructure.
Yeah, and they've done a lot of work since then. So I think there'll be some helpful updates and great opportunities for you all to provide your perspectives. And then just to kind of lay out the rest of the year, so we'll probably, our November meeting's not too close to Thanksgiving. So if you are good, that'll be our time to kind of come back and hone in on some human services updates, program updates, as well as quarterly grant updates. And then we will most likely recess in December to follow our council schedule. So that's kind of what the next part of the rest of the year looks like. In our November meeting, we'll also most likely plan out our work plan for 2025. So I think it would be a very productive meeting. And then we'll take a break for the holidays and come back for a new year. Can you believe it? It's August and we're already talking about next year.
About November.
I know, it flies by.
Anything you want to add, Hannah? We do have number 6, other businesses or announcements from the group. People online. Any updates from the group you'd want to present? All right, so we will see most of you all at September 19th at the strategic plan. So
More
looking forward to
information to
that,
come.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Congratulations, commissioners. Really well done.
All right, well, we're gonna be declaring the meeting adjourned on August 21st. What time is it? 7:16 p.m.
Great.
Thank you all.
And
Very good.
commissioners.